Hey everybody, I hope you're doing fantastic. This isn't going to be one of your regular videos from me. I wanted to just kind of touch base with everybody, let you know what's going on with me and my health issues, and ask for prayers. So, I'm going to try to get through this without crying as much as I can, so bear with me. So just a little bit of a background, and I'm sorry if you hear chomping. I have 3 dogs and they're all having little treats to keep them occupied for, 3 minutes. But anyways, so, for those of you that don't know, I'm a 3-time breast cancer survivor. I was diagnosed on December 23rd of 2014. With my first diagnosis, it was triple negative and did have lymph node involvement. So I was a stage 3. And then in November 23rd of 2016, I found a lump here on my collarbone, which they biopsied, and it was breast cancer. So that was number 2. And then in 2018, November 26th, 2018, I went in because, okay, let me backtrack a little bit. So in 2014, I was diagnosed. 2015, I had all of my treatments. So I had 16 rounds of chemotherapy, 28 rounds of radiation, a double mastectomy with expanders put in, and later they were switched out for implants. And not ideal for me, but it was what it was. So in 2018, I had decided that I didn't want those foreign objects in my body, and that I was going to have a DIEP flap procedure, which is where they take fat from your stomach area and they reconstruct your chest. So that was the plan going in. I had a scan about 2 weeks prior to my surgery, and it was clear. When they got in there and they took the implants out, they found some abnormal looking cells and sent it. They had an oncologist come into the operating room, and they did a little biopsy, and sure enough, it was triple negative cancer again. So for my second treatment, I had 6 rounds of chemotherapy. And then for my third, I had 8 rounds of chemotherapy before I was cleared. But my oncologist decided he wanted me to stay on the chemotherapy as a preventative measure. So total, I had 36 rounds of chemotherapy, 28 radiation, more surgeries than I've had a hysterectomy. I've had all of it. I was going to say, and totally lost my train of thought, but I've had more surgeries than I can even count at this point. So in 2019, and here's where I'm going to put up a trigger warning. If you get queasy, maybe it's time to skip through a little bit. I'm not going to get too graphic, but I just want to give you an idea. So in 2019, I woke up one morning and my bed was soaked, and I thought I was having night sweats. And it turned out that my chest was leaking, like where the scar was. Went to the doctor. Everything was fine. They kind of patched me up and sent me on my way. And I have been dealing with that off and on. Like, it hasn't been a constant flow, but off and on since 2019. This year, during this whole process, I have been talking to my oncologist and my breast surgeon and the plastic surgeon and anybody who will listen to me, my primary care, to see if I can have reconstruction done. Now, I was told that I had a seroma in my chest, and that's what was leaking. Seroma is like a sac filled with body fluid. Your body, if something is taken out of your body will try to replace it with its own fluid. A seroma built up. That's what I was told. So I tried talking to all of my doctors, all of my team members about having, at minimum, having the seroma taken out and the area in my chest that was radiated, because it's really tight and very uncomfortable all the time. And they kept saying, oh, let's leave well enough alone. You know, you've been cancer-free for X amount of time, and let's wait till you're at the 5-year mark. So I'm like, okay, because at the 5-year mark for triple negative, the chances of recurrence drop dramatically. So, cool. That's what we'll do. So I hit the 5-year mark, started talking, hit the 6-year mark, still talking. So finally, I went in April of this year to Dartmouth Hitchcock in Lebanon, New Hampshire. For those of you who don't know, now you know, I'm in New Hampshire. But anyways, so I went there because that's where my DIEP flap was supposed to have happened, but failed. And I went into the office and spoke with the plastic surgeon, and it was... So first of all, he said to me, and I'm not going to name his name, you know, let's just say he said some kind of unpleasant things. And he just seemed very negative about it. So I decided I was going to look for a second opinion. And I went down to Boston, and I found an amazing group that is going to work with me. So I got a call last Thursday, I believe, saying that they had a cancellation for this coming Wednesday, as in tomorrow, to do the DIEP flap procedure. Now, again, if you don't know, I have severe anxiety, severe depression, severe panic attacks, so I have to mentally prepare for these kinds of things. And I hadn't even met the breast surgeon at that point. So we set up an appointment for me to go meet with him and discuss things. And that was on Friday, a couple days ago. So when I went in, I had to have a CT scan because they wanted to make sure that my blood vessels in my stomach were still good, were still viable, because in 2018, they did cut my stomach thinking that they were going to be doing the whole entire procedure. And then it just went to hell in a handbasket. So anyway, everything worked out fine. The doctor says he thinks that the DIEP flap will be very successful. And then he wanted to see my chest. And I showed him. Now, I have been leaking since April. I had to have some biopsies done, and that left me with a hole in my chest that is about the size of a nickel at this point. So, he looked at it, and there was stuff that shouldn't be there. So he started cleaning out the area and kept calling it debris, and kept asking me if I remember somebody putting something in there to help heal it. And I don't remember that. So anyway, he cleaned it out, but he came back in the office and said he didn't think that the DIEP flap was going to be a procedure for me this Wednesday, like tomorrow. So what he wants to do is he wants to go in and clean everything out, make sure everything's out of there so that my chest can finally heal. And because he said, you know, your chest is very angry. It's not a good idea to try to do this procedure. We only have one chance at this procedure. And if we rush into it and don't make sure everything is cleaned out of there and ready to go, we're asking for failure. So I said, okay. So that brings us to tomorrow. And so I have surgery at 12:45 Eastern Standard Time. So if you could say some prayers that I wake up, because that's always my fear when I have to be put under. And if you could pray that God touches the surgeon's hands and guides him so that this can be successful, and then I can have the other surgery in November, which is the plan. So I didn't want to do this. I thought I was going to be strong enough to do this, but it is what it is. So anyway, I've been trying to put, it seems like every time I get a routine going for my crafting channel and, you know, I start posting videos and they start doing good again, something happens and I can't craft. So I am going to be out of commission. I don't know how long. They're going to be putting this special like vacuum machine on my chest because the skin is so damaged. He doesn't know if it will heal on its own because it's so tight. He's afraid once he cuts it, it's just gonna, and then it'll be hard to get back together. So he's gonna use one of these new vacuum machine things that's supposed to promote healing. So I will have a visiting nurse coming in to take care of the wound until it heals. So if I could ask for not only prayers, but if you could just watch some old videos. Maybe you haven't seen all of my older videos, and quite honestly, they're not the greatest videos. I was just starting out and just finding my mojo. um, I mean, not that I'm like this super duper like fantastic crafter now, but I think I've come a long way. But anyways, if you could support my channel that way, just watch some videos. If you haven't liked them, share them with your friends. I would be so grateful, because that helps me with YouTube, and it helps me get the views and the likes that I need to keep YouTube pushing my videos out for others to see. So, yeah, I guess that's it. I do have one more video that's coming out, I think Thursday. I have it scheduled. I wish I had more, but today is cleaning the house and making sure that I have everything in order for tomorrow. So anyway, I appreciate you all so much, all your love and support throughout my journey here on YouTube. I appreciate it so much. I consider you all part of my family at this point. I've made some really great friends, and I have some of the most loyal subscribers, and I love you all so much. And I hope that you're all, again, doing well and being healthy and happy and enjoying your summer. And as soon as I can, I will at least post in my community tab so that you guys know how the surgery went, and when I'll be able to get back into this room and create again. So thank you again from the bottom of my heart. I love you all. I hope you have a great rest of your summer, and I will see you all very soon. Bye.